I still have a Christmas tree, and it's almost the end of January. Hey everyone, it's Elena. Sorry I have not been here for like 30 years basically. My excuse will always be until it happens. I am engaged. I am getting married this year. Well, that comes out of my mouth is wedding. I only can speak wedding right now. There's no other terms that I can talk about but wedding, so I really want to take a break from it and tell you a story about my past, and that way you can get to know me more and get to understand who I am, which probably this would not be the best story, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. So this is a story time. Yay, so gather around, get your food like I am because I'm having homemade chili. That's the best. And a cup of milk. So my crazy story is how I got fired from Victoria's Secret. So where do I start? I guess explain what Victoria's Secret is if none of you guys in the world have a clue, which would be pretty crazy because everyone should know what Victoria's Secret is. But if you don't, it is a very glamorous, blingy, girly, extravagant lingerie place, but they also sell perfume, some makeup, clothes, and undergarments, and it's just very expensive, if you know what I mean, but very cute, where you at least have to walk out with one item. And when I was younger, I want to say I was 16, I always wanted to make it a goal to work there because I'm sure anywhere you work you get a discount. That was the mindset back then. Like, I get a discount, I can wear more pink, I'm gonna be so cool in high school, I'm gonna look so cute. That was the goal. So they had a big sign out at my local mall, and they were advertising how they are doing interviews, and I definitely applied. I needed the job that I was at. It was a sign from God that I needed to work here at the time, so I did. I applied. I kept harassing them and calling them and saying I really want this job. Long story short, I got the job. It was only $10 an hour, which now that I think of it, back then I thought that was a lot, but now that I think of it, that's like a slap in the face, but whatever. And before I get started, I have mixed feelings about Victoria's Secret. I don't like what they posted about the whole fashion show thing and how, like, you cannot have fat girls or whatever. I might get the context wrong, but how they really want skinny girls. They don't want these big bested ladies, big ladies, you know. They don't want the natural looking people. They want the people that are stick thin and stuff, which I don't have anything against that if you are. I honestly wish I could be, but I think nowadays with how the world is, we need to be more centered around everyone, just how it is. So yeah, I don't like that point of view of them, but I do love their clothes, so I'm just iffy about the place. So I feel like, especially after being fired, and I still shop there, so I mean, I feel like I have every right to say what I say and how I feel because everyone else does, and they're still shopping there, and so I feel like I can voice my opinion too. So, and it's been long enough. I've been fired, I'm not getting hired, and I don't want to work there ever again. So I feel like now's the perfect time I can tell my story. So, got hired when I was like probably 16. It's every girl's dream job. At the time, you were allowed to get an outfit every month. Yes, you could pick out anything you wanted in the store pretty much every month. And it was the new stuff. Nothing that was thrown away, nothing that was in the clearance. It was a whole new set of items. You get half off. It was like every girl's dream. I had pink on me like it was nothing back then. And I loved it. I loved helping the customers find what they needed. I loved feeling like I had all the brain info that they don't, and I could help them out. I loved it. And I started realizing over time that all these coworkers that I worked with, I had nothing against no one, and I really do keep in touch with some of them, and I still like seeing them, and I think they're all sweet. But our jobs were on the line, in all honesty. So what it was back then was you had to reach a selling goal of commission, and if you didn't get to your selling goal, you would be fired or terminated, in other words. So, and they were outrageous. So commission there, you would only get 10% of it. So say my fiance came in and bought me something that was worth $100. I got 10% of that, so I only got $10 out of that. And you know, with the goal that they had set for us, they had us set in like the thousands range, like the high thousand ranges. And it was like impossible to get that much with, and I was struggling, and knowing me, I hate failing. And I remember going to the bosses at the time being like, what can I do to improve? What do I need to say? Do I need to dress cuter? Am I not cute? Like, am I not advertising your stuff well? Because we had to wear pink to advertise, which makes sense. I'm not against that. But I didn't know what I was doing. Was my hair not in trend? Was I not wearing the best makeup to look cute in the outfit? Like, what was I doing wrong to not grab these people's attention? Did I not have enough info of what I needed to know? And I just could not get that goal. So I remember getting pulled back every month, and it was the worst feeling. And I got this paper, and it said, like, you were short this month. Every time, like, I have not reached the goal. And it bothered me. It drove me crazy. It was very stressful just for a job. It kind of felt like being in school, back in college, back in high school, where you needed to get this grade in order to pass and move on. But I was thinking, this is a job, and it's not even a serious one. It's a clothing store, a very popular clothing store. So to fight for commission, this is insane. And when I mean fight, I had coworkers like take my customers away, and they'd be like, hey, my name's so-and-so, so don't forget about me when you check out. And in case you're wondering, if you wonder why people, like the workers at Victoria's Secret or anywhere, gets you so annoyed when they're all in your face, like, if you need help, my name's so-and-so, it's because they had to set a commission goal so they can get that extra money, and so they can probably get saved from their jobs. So tip, next time you go shopping, really listen to their names, because you're helping them out in the end. But long story short, I could not reach the goal, and that's not how I got fired though, right? So when I got hired, you were given this giant booklet. In the booklet, it said that you are not allowed to sell anything that's Victoria's Secret, or you are not free outfits that I got. And may I mention, certain coworkers did the exact same thing, and I want to know your opinions in the comments below of how you feel about this, because I feel like I shouldn't have gotten fired for this just because. But the free outfits I got, I did wear them, and within a few months I wasn't feeling the outfits anymore. Or I had a bra and I couldn't even exchange it. I couldn't even switch out the size because it did not fit me right. And so what would you do? Honestly, in your opinion, what would you do with those clothes if you did not want them? Well, you could have donated them to the Goodwill, donate them to someone, give them to your sister, or sell them, right? That's all what we all do with our clothes. I always do it all the time. I take my clothes to Plato's, which is a resale shop in Texas. So what do? You get rid of them. So months go by, and Facebook has the little market spot where you can sell things, and so I sold some stuff. Like, I even sold things that I bought with my money, and I sold it. And some of it honestly was before I even got hired, and I was selling it, right? So a problem, I got called to the office one day, and I honestly think, I'll just get into that later, but I got called into the office and they said I was stealing. And that really got me upset, because I am not a stealer. I am not someone that takes things. I pay for it, or I work hard for it, or I get it for free just out of the kindness of someone, or just because I got it for free. I didn't get it for free by stealing. They said I stole because I sold things that they had given me. And I was confused because they gave me that stuff for free. I was not charged for any of the free items. And they were like, you're stealing from us because you're selling. And I told them, I was like, first of all, you guys gave me it. You did not charge me a penny. So why is that stealing? That's not stealing to me if I didn't have to pay for it and you just give it to me like it's a gift. Second of all, it was been like, maybe since I got that free item, it was probably like 4 months after I've been wearing it and stuff. What? Yeah. And what was crazy was they were able to dig up my Facebook information and find all of the stuff I was selling. And then when they pulled it up, they brought us stuff like that I was selling before I got hired here. They brought up a onesie that I bought, a jacket that I bought with my own money from my first job, and said that that was stealing. And I told them that there's no way, because I paid with that with my money and I wasn't even working here when I bought the items. So are you gonna get onto everyone that buys something and they sell it? No. So I really hated that they got into my info like that. I don't even know how they got into my Facebook. I gave them none of that information, but I really hated it. And so I got sent home that day early because of that. And I got a phone call the next day saying that I got fired. And I said, thank you for everything. I did not come back to get anything from my locker. I did not return. And ever since then, I have had the reputation of how I steal things, and it bothers me because that's not who I am. I am not a stealer. I work hard for everything, and if someone always accuses me of something, I get very upset and very worried because that's my reputation that's being damaged. And I'm way too good of a person, a hard worker, to be told that I'm not. So after that, me and my friends would still go shopping there, which I know I don't want to hear it. We probably shouldn't have, but we still do to this day. But me and my friends went shopping, and one coat, everyone knew me by the reputation that I stole. So me and my friends went shopping, and there was a coworker that would always whisper in the microphone that me and my friends are stealing. So one day I went up to that boss, and this has been years since I quit that job, and I was still being harassed by the coworkers of Victoria's Secret. So I went up to the boss, the one that hired me, and I was like, you need to stop. And my friends even said something, they chimed in. I left here years ago, and you're still harassing me. You still think I'm stealing. I have a bag in my hand, like one of their shopping bags with all the stuff in it. I always buy from y'all still. Leave me alone. Like, stop following me around, stop following my friends, stop saying that we're stealing, leave us alone. Finally the day came and they left us alone, but I shopped there I can't say very often, but I can't say very rarely either. It's like a good amount. I feel very uncomfortable to go there now, just because everyone's staring at me and they hear the stories, which are probably a big lie. And I see some of my old managers, and they're just really, they treat you like a whole nother person. They ignore you. They act like you've never worked here. They're very rude and fake, and it really drives me crazy. Sometimes I wish I could just order online, but sometimes they don't have things in my size, or they don't have what I want, or I can't even use my coupons online. So it's like I'm forced to use anything that I want to use or get what I need to get without being harassed. And so maybe a few months ago, I've finally been able to shop and been left alone, which is such a nice feeling. But Victoria's Secret was something. I had so many good friends there. I was going through a rough time at that time, and so I had a lot of friends at that time, and I keep in touch with a few, but a few don't talk to me, and I mean, it's just because you drift away. But other than that, I really hate the corporate of Victoria's Secret. Like, I hate their rules. I think that's stupid to fire me, and they're firing people left and right. So right after I got fired, they fired a lot of my coworkers, and some were saying they couldn't reach the goal that they had to reach. And it's just like stupid reasons why people were getting fired. And honestly, if you go in there now, I might see one coworker that still works there when I was there, but I honestly see no one else, and that's because they fired people left and right. And like, you will be there if you go and apply there, I promise you, you might be there for maybe a year max, but you're gonna get fired because that's just how Victoria's Secret is. And it's sad because it's a really fun job behind all that. I even liked getting up at like 4 a.m. and pricing price tags. I loved it. It was one of my fun jobs, but it's a job that I can't go back to, but also if I had the opportunity, I probably wouldn't go back to it just because corporate was so mean. Like, I told my mom stories. I came home stressed out. I came home crying. I would get rashes and pimples just because I was so stressed from work. It wasn't even school. It wasn't anything else. It was literally work, and it was Victoria's Secret. Like, nothing should be that serious. So, I mean, Victoria's Secret, if you hear me, y'all need to work on your people skills and your business in general, because trust me, I will shop there, but I'm not afraid to say this stuff because it drives me crazy thinking that y'all can treat people that way. But it was just one of those crazy story times. Like, I worked at my dream job and I definitely regret it. Like, honestly, I loved the job so much. Let me show you. I got a James Avery charm. This charm bracelet clearly since I was working at Victoria's Secret, but I loved this job so much. I was so committed that I bought myself an angel wings charm because I was like so proud of myself at the time, because I thought that like that meant a lot. Like, I reached my goal. I finally I'm working somewhere where I really wanted to work, where I was passionate about it, where I loved coming in every day. I loved working the long hours. Just to be treated like crap. So yeah, and it sucks, but that was one of my story times that I had to tell you. I had to get it out, and I'm so glad I did. It's like a little tiny weight now has been off my chest. It's a good feeling to finally be able to talk about my story, and I feel like it's the right timing because I felt like it was too early. Right when I got fired was not the right time to do it, and then I just been busy. But now I can finally tell my story about all of it, so I'm really happy. But thanks for watching. Tell me what you think about how I got fired, if that was lame, or if I should have been given at least a warning or something. I should have definitely got a warning. That was the first time I ever got in trouble, so it was just really weird to get fired from that. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe there'll be more story times in the future. Alright, bye guys.